I'm Louise and this is my mum Suzanne, and today we're going to show you how to make grissini, which are the lovely long crunchy Italian breadsticks that we all loved as kids. Mum and I love making these together. It's a really lovely family thing to do together, and they're fantastic for a dinner party or any kind of entertaining. They're very impressive, and to say that you made them yourself, that they're homemade, everyone will be oohing and ahhing at how clever you are.
And the wonderful thing about them is they're so easy. You don't need to really knead, because there's hardly any texture. It's all about crunch. You can't really go wrong. So, you know, you've got to get into it.
So you have sifted the 700 grams of flour. Now we use the bread flour. The high protein flour is perfect for grissini. And next you simply add some Parmesan cheese. That just goes in. Mum can be stirring while I'm adding. And next we put in 15 grams of dry yeast, which is 1 level 20 ml tablespoon. You've got to watch it. Sometimes tablespoons say 15 mils, that's the US measurement. In Australia, we work off a 20 ml tablespoon. Add that in.
So we're ready to go now with our...
So then we've got here the olive oil. That just goes straight in. And Mum, do you want to stir while I start adding this water? So we've got here 1.5 cups of tepid water.
Get it going. Look at the lovely green of that. The main thing is, I mean, I prefer to use an extra virgin, but you could use just an olive oil, but don't, on any account, use light olive oil, because it's not really olive oil to my mind at all.
Now, I will warn you, when you make this, you're going to think that you don't have enough water. It feels quite a dry mixture, but don't worry about that.
Okay,
It's
well, you may as well
be.
add it all if you're fairly confident in that, and show me how you mix it. You don't really need me today, do you? You're good at these.
It's probably best to use a slightly bigger bowl than what we've got here. You'll just be a bit less messy. Now, once you get to this stage, roll your sleeves up and get into it. Get your hands in there.
That's the way.
It's just going to be easier. You're not going to achieve the same result.
Can I tell you my little tip?
What's your tip?
In case the telephone rings.
Yeah.
I don't put two hands in.
Ah.
I'll just show you my little tap.
Okay, you show me.
Because I'm bossy. I've got the holding the bowl with one hand and using the other hand. What do you think?
Very
so
clever.
If I get an itch in the eye, or the telephone rings, or something bubbles
to pick
over,
up the baby.
I haven't got all hands a mess. But anyway, you continue with your hands.
So that starts to come together, and you're thinking, gosh, there's a bit of excess flour there, and there may be a little bit. Look, it varies depending on the conditions, so some day it will feel different to another day depending on everything that's happening around you. But if there is a bit of excess flour, it really doesn't matter, because you can use that to flour your work surface.
And what I do at this stage is to just get my mass out. I get my mass out like that.
Gather the bits.
Gather a couple of the bits. Add that in the centre. Now we've got some flour still there, and I'm only going to add that if I think I need it after I've done this. And you see I'm turning the dough all the time like that with my left hand and pushing down with my right until I start to get this a bit together. And it's starting to feel a bit wetter. Can you see that?
You can see it transforming in front of your eyes. It starts to become elastic and it takes on a lovely sheen.
It feels better.
And if it looks like that, you're doing the right thing. I sometimes go to the gym and do a pump class to do the biceps and the triceps. Forget that. Just make grissini. You get the good arm workout instead.
Yes.
That's looking lovely.
It's looking lovely. And look at that.
Perfect.
Like a baby's bottom.
Mwah.
Perfectly smooth. So we put that aside for a bit. We just put a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of our bowl. And this was the side that we had down, and we've made that up. So I put that down into the oil. I turn that around like that, then I flip it over. And so the top is oiled, and then the bottom's going to be oiled too.
Great. So then we just cover this in cling wrap.
Yep, we like that humidity. Put that loosely over the top like that. And that tea towel to keep it away from drafts and any cool air. And yes, it could take 30 minutes, it could take 60 minutes, but it needs to be doubled in bulk, double in volume and nicely risen in the bowl.
All right, so this has been rising for 30 minutes. Wow, fabulous. That looks great.
It's more than doubled in bulk. So a little bit of flour. Boom, boom, boom. And just get this like that. And at this stage, you don't need it at all, really. You just get that into a bit of a smooth shape.
That's called knocking down or punching down?
Not at this stage. You might knock it down when you're wanting it to rise further.
Oh, okay.
But we've finished rising,
Okay.
so we've got this, and that's going to make our little 60 grissini. But we just cut it down into sections so that you know you can handle it and it's going to be even. So far, 1, 2, 3.
Beautiful. I can be
There you
doing
go.
that over here.
So we're in Grissini factory land.
Keeping on the production line here. I'm down the line a bit from you.
And what I love about Grissini, you know the packets, how they're all perfect. I love mine all a bit different and funny shaped, like twigs.
That's what makes them special.
It is. They're in shape. Once we've shaped them, and we leave them to stand for 10 to 20 minutes, we might do our little squash tomato and olive oil mixture and just brush it on. But you could roll this in a bit of poppy seeds or sesame seeds to make them nice. I think I'm going faster than you.
Oh, well, yes. Miss Show Off, I think you are. Does it matter if you put them quite close together on the tray?
No,
it's
it
not
doesn't
like
matter. You can do that.
biscuits where there's spreading room, is there?
And you see, you don't need much flour to knead these.
No, I've hardly got any here.
Just the thing is to keep moving along and changing where you're rolling at. Otherwise, you'll find out you've got a very thin bit and a very thick bit, and the next thing it's broken.
We now brush these with this lovely tomato olive oil mixture.
And it just gives them a little special something different. Now, I have friends that love getting these grissini sticks and just getting some jamon, which is the Spanish ham, or the Italian prosciutto crudo, and wrapping it around, very thinly sliced, wrapping around each grissini. Yum, yum. Okay, let's pop that
Into
in
the oven. And they bake for 20 minutes. Time's up on these grissini. I think they're looking perfect.
Oh, hope they're good.
Yum. Look at them.
Yummy.
We will be the talk of the town tonight with those.
Yes, and we've got the next lot going in the oven.
Yes,
So
we
we
need
have-
to do them in batches. Now these are cooled down, I can have a sneaky sample while Mum's not looking. Perfect. Yum. Cheesy and crisp and everything you'd want in a grissini.